Okay, so now we go onto deployment. Let's see. Oh, okay. What? Interesting. Um, I'm on this side of the map. That's a bit surprising. Hmm. Hey, that changes things a bit. Okay, that is surprising. I well, whatever. So that does mess me up a bit, I guess. Cause my starting position here is not as well, no, it should be alright. Um, okay, now that's a bit see, I'm Court of God again. There's so much to get used to. Hmm. Germany versus Czechoslovakia. I'm not very sure why it would have swapped them. Um. Hmm. Well. Uh. Okay, so let's just have a look what we got. Company. So battle group commander. That's the company commander. Okay, so we have so that's the first platoon, second platoon. And then support platoon. And one more Panzerjäger. No, that's the mortars. And now the Panzerjägers. Okay, and next is the two-man scout platoon. And then four-man scout platoon. And another four-man scout. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so mortars. And forward observer. Trucks are close to those. Heavy machine gun. Two armor sections and some independent Panzerjägers. Okay. Now, let's see about changing ranges first. Suddenly, for some reason, these ranges are very long. Okay. Those to 0. 0. 3. Fix those up in a minute. 2-man, we'll set those to 0. 1-man, actually I'll make them both. I'll make them all 0. Mortars 0. Observer team 0, and the trucks 0. The heavy machine guns have a better have a better range, but these are recon, so we'll keep those short. 6, yeah. Actually, probably should go more like 3, 3, and these guys are 0. Yeah, like the 1. Okay, so ranges are set. I have to try to remember how to do this. Do I select formation of this one? Okay, so no, okay, so we can't do that year. Okay, so these guys, starting year, we're going to assign these to, I think that's W. New headquarters, right. Okay, so we're going to assign these. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Panzerjägers. So we're just moving the headquarters unit. It doesn't matter really without command and control, because I could have just had these units move with them, but I've decided I'm gonna play as if command and control is on, rather than ignore it completely, just to make sure that I because one of the main things is with command and control is you got to keep you got to keep platoons together, because you're relying on orders being able to flow from the headquarters unit. So if you stop playing that way, then it's difficult to get used to it again. So I mean, that's how I've normally played, because I've played with command and control on, even though I've now come to realize it's probably not. It's kind of pointless for me to do that, since I don't really have the experience to make it work, to work with it properly. But anyway, so I do have experience with command and control, just not very good at it. So, but eventually it'd be nice to consider being able to play by email with command and control on. So if it's not, you know, don't want to get too rusty on keeping things together. So I mean, there's no point in doing reassigning the headquarters with CNC off. But what the heck, we'll just do that for the practice. Okay, so. Okay, so there. Okay, so way to place A0 unit probably here. Height 20. Yeah, so now I have to consider that my original plan. This game throws you curves, right? I did not anticipate that I would be starting from the other side of the map, so my original plan was to move up through here, which looks relatively safe. Moving the tanks up through here suddenly looks very dangerous. So I'm probably only going to be able to move the tanks up through height 10. There's a slope. I'm only going to be able to move the tanks up to about this position, and then the infantry or the recon will have to move in on their own. I would have been able to get a lot closer on this side because I think I would have had a little bit better cover, maybe. Or moving them up through here would have been an option because the terrain is not, there's enough empty, the wooded area is not that dense. Whereas on the side's a bit more dense and it's all on high ground, so like the open areas are all on high ground, so the chances of being spotted are pretty high. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna stick with that. I think it still looks like it's a plan. It's better than nothing. Yeah, but the game's thrown me a curve now already, so I'm really feeling like it's um, uh, not quite going the way I wanted it to go. But hey, that's how it is. Are there any other assignments I want to make? Oh, I wasn't finished on those. I should actually change these to 0. I generally prefer the headquarters units not be firing. Their only purpose is to rally units. And in command and control is obviously to issue orders. They're not there to fight. 3. Yeah. So the support unit's been kind of stripped down, but I guess that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with the. Let's have a look through these. Let's turn these off as well. These guys have specialized weapons. Okay, leave those on. Turn off the tank mines. Because those are heat weapons, so they could use them against infantry. And like because we're on reduced ammo, we get a limited supply of them. Don't want them using their. Oops. I think I have a range of 0, so. Okay. Geez, I only get one of those. Wow. Okay. It's not having ball of firing rifles. The observer team is not firing anything, and these guys don't have any weapons. Heavy MG. We'll keep those active. Okay, they only have armor-piercing rounds, so they won't really fire them at anything else. So we'll turn off their submachine guns. Okay, so that's it. Now, So A0 unit, where am I gonna position that? All the good, all the high grounds is pretty exposed. um, Actually thinking the reserves might actually be left back here. That's an idea. Well, if he sends, hey, it really depends on what he sends out here, right? My reserve force could be under a lot of pressure. Okay, so maybe up here. Zero unit. Company HQ is probably going to be down here somewhere. Hmm. Well, these hills here should block line of sight. So I think we're okay to deploy behind here. May actually even be able to deploy fairly far forward here. It's a bit risky though, because if he decides to drop mortar fire over here, then we get suppressed in the first turn. um, okay, let's assume we're gonna start. Okay, come to commander. Oops. Right. Okay, next one. Okay, so those are the platoons that are attacking. We're gonna have third platoon maybe here. Okay, that's yeah. Except the problem with that, of course, is they're out in the open, so not ideal. Um. Hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Can't deploy on the high ground like that. Have to deploy them behind it, um, and then move them up on top of it later, or what? Hmm. Yeah, so I'm gonna move that one off there. Would be nice to have him back there, but that's not gonna happen. I'm wondering maybe just in front of the, maybe in the buildings. Let's assume we're gonna do that for now. Um, I'm gonna have to check line of sight with those guys later. Okay, this one is moving with the attack here. Okay, so scouts, they're gonna get loaded onto the tanks. So we'll move to the. Okay, we'll ignore them for now. Well, we're gonna need to some pickets out here just to keep an eye out. Not sure how far forward we want to go though. So let's assume where I'll put. I'll go with that for now. Maybe one over here. They won't be in contact though. Um, may not matter. And one over the side. We can't do that. Maybe like that. I don't know. So These guys will be here. Something like that. Sort it out in a minute. Mortars. Now, this is not likely to... I'll position them here for now. Observer team and vehicles are here. Okay, so what we got left? Okay, the tanks. So these are... Okay, so the recon... These are being loaded onto the tank, so... nice thing in deployment, you don't have to actually be adjacent to load anything on. But actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just put them close by for now. I won't load them on yet. Okay, so scouts there. Panzerjäger. Actually, forward observer. And Panzerjägers are on the tanks as well. Make sure those are... Oops. What? Yep, they're two-man teams. So a pair of them can fit on one of the tanks, which can carry 4 men. Yep. Okay, so we're good with that. So this group will be advancing in through year. These guys will be moving up a little bit slower, obviously. Um, I'll, unfortunately, the tanks won't be able to go very far. It's not very good terrain for them here. Let's look up. Let's look around here. Actually, it's not that bad. It's not great either. This is height 10, height 20. And it's probably not worthwhile because the tanks will be slowed down quite a lot in there. And the chances of getting surprised are quite high, so yeah. I think that's probably the best they can do. And then we can unload the recon, and they can move forward before the armor moves in. Because otherwise, we're not gonna know where we're headed. There's enough cover here that being player 2 means yeah, you're at a slightly disadvantage. Because the other player gets into position before you do, so you have to assume that he can spot you, I guess. Yeah, I think that's okay. So the tanks are not going to go very far, but it'll get that recon up a little further than they might have been able to do on foot. So maybe into this position here, or even up here, because I think we'll have enough tree cover from that side. But at the very least, we can get in here. That should be fairly safe. So let's see where. Oh wow, what a convenient line of trees. Line of sight actually, I mean, it's one of the things that in the game, the map looks open, but when you start looking at the detail, there's plenty of cover. So anyway, so let's look at the detail. I don't know if I want to do that. Do I really want to deploy them that far forward? I don't think so. No, I'm not going to deploy them that far forward. Let's see. So let's put them maybe. Actually, let's have a look. So if I put them. Thing is, if I put them in on the ground, then like if I put them here, then they're not going to be able to see much anyway. Yeah, because there's a height 1 thing here. Yeah. Actually, so that's not very useful. Probably better off further forward then. Or on the ridges like this one is. Yeah, 'cause there's no point in positioning the pickets this far back because they can't see over this height 1 area. Which I've never noticed the game actually does that. And it's kind of interesting that it generates these height 1 areas. Gotta watch out for that because you can't tell. Like there's nothing visually that tells you that you can't see through that until you really gotta look around. I guess it's encouraging you to look around to make sure that you have line of sight. I don't know. I don't think he can. It doesn't look like he'd be able to spot me from anywhere if I do that. However, this one very likely will be seen when he deploys. Will it? Could it? No, he actually won't be. I'm not going to put him there. I think that's a little bit. If I was going to deploy these guys on the ridge here, on this hill area, then I might consider that. Let's see how that looks close up. Don't know if that's going to help. Yeah, there's enough. Yeah, it's a good chance he'd be spotted right away. Well, he's not going to be moving, so that the chances of that actually are quite not really that high. Just worried that I just want to make sure that he can't be seen from deployment because that actually is something in the game. If you have really high, like we don't really have high visibility height, that's only 25, so it's not that bad. But if you have really high visibility, it's entirely possible you could see the enemy units. Like player 1 can see player 2's enemy units because player 2 deploys first, right? I'm just trying to figure where to deploy the reserve. The buildings are appealing, and they have pretty good line of sight. Not that it'll matter anyway. The buildings will give them good cover, I think. Move the Panzerjäger up to the front. Actually, we put him in the building further back. Yeah. Mortar can stay there, but if I'm going to do that, then I might as well put the A0 unit back here. Yeah. Yeah, main issue here is if a strong force attacks across here, well, it's open ground, so I guess I'm okay. it's not terrible, unless he sends a bunch of tanks through. In which case, my entire plane gets thrown out the window, and I'm making it up again. So I think that's I'm gonna go with that. And they're far enough back that they won't get seen. Now it's just a question of the way the picket should go. What can we see from here? Actually, surprisingly little. Um, so if we position there, um, they can't be seen. There's, I mean, the east deployment line is all the way back there. There's nothing in between, so um, yeah, no, that's not very useful. It's too close. I don't know. Yeah, there's lots of these little height one uh, areas in the open terrain, which is quite quite annoying. Well, we have a pretty good line of sight. I don't really think there's. I'm thinking more along the lines of maybe back here. Um, yep, as long as I can't be seen from the enemy deployment line. Oh wow, I'm just spending way too much time on that. Oh man. I don't know. Having them on the high ground, I think, is probably a good idea. So we'll go with that. Um, but we have enough line of sight issues in here that it's probably not going to be ideal. Um, I suspect I'm going to need to move them up. I don't know. Let's see. No, I don't want to go not that close to the trees. I'm going to do that. Okay, I got an idea. Finally, got an idea. Because this side of the map is the only side of the map that's not this. I have no line of sight. So what I should do is probably have some recon in this area. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Just in case. So, put the HQ unit there. There. I don't know what kind of line of sight they're gonna have here. No, not great. Well, if he attacks through that side of the map, then I got a problem. So it'd probably be a good idea to know about that ahead of time. It actually looks kind of tempting that he would do that. It does. It does look useful. So I think that's a good idea. There's actually a hill here, so I might have these guys move up. After a few turns, if nothing happens on this side, zoom in here. Yeah, let's make sure they can't be seen. I think they're okay because there's a hill there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And we'll see how that works out. Just might be useful, might not be. Okay, so this side. I'm actually gonna move these guys up closer. Yeah, we'll put them in the trees here. So yeah, get there. Company HQ. I don't know if these guys can be rallied from that one. That's kind of annoying because they're not. There's no direct relationship between these units. So that might be awkward. Okay, so I'm trying to think if the mortars should be left here for now. I think so. Yeah, the mortars will stay there. I'm gonna load up Okay, and okay, that'll load it in there. Okay, I think that's good. I'm taking a chance deploying so close to the start lines, but that's okay. We'll see. I have no idea what I'm doing, so we'll just try stuff out and see how it works out. My muddled my muddled tactics may actually be working in my favor because my opponent may not be able to figure out what I'm doing. Yeah, so if I stop planning things, it might actually go worse for me because it's become obvious what I'm doing, right? You never know. These are four-man teams. Okay, so they would need to go into trucks anyway. They should be able to keep up. I don't see why not. Well, I mean, these guys are not going to be moving 9Xs. Yeah, they will not be moving full speed, so the heavy machine gun should be able to keep up. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing to deploy so far forward. I mean, I've read that it's not, because your opponent could very easily. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sufficiently paranoid that yeah, maybe I won't do that. Yeah, let's be paranoid. Let's go back three. Yeah, let's go back 3Xs. There. That's just 2Xs. I don't want to go too far back because the thing is, the infantry they move very slowly, and they're going to be moving through a wooded area, a hilly wooded area. So they are not going to be able to go very far anyway. So if I start too far back, then that creates another. That's just going to slow me down unnecessarily. Going 2X's back. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that. It's all a bit silly, isn't it? Exceedingly silly, as to use the Monty Python phrase. Something exceedingly silly. Well, they'll be able to move very quickly the first few turns anyway, because there's not going to be any line of sight. As long as they stay behind this hill. It's only when we get up to here. So these guys may actually move onto the ridge just to keep an eye out, I guess. I'll see how that works out. Okay, I think I'm done for whatever it's worth. I don't know. I have no idea. It seems like a good idea, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so is there anything I still need to check? Ranges have been set. Actually, these guys should not have ranges set. They should be 0. Panzerjäger should be 0. We'll set them to 1. Don't know. They're very specialized. I mean, they really shouldn't be firing opportunity fire anyway. On the other hand, the range they have is 12. I can't tell. The range at second lieutenant, not a toy. Yeah, that name is it's one of the. It was a member of the depot, the old depot. I don't think he's on the new depot forums, because this is a mod. There's a lot of inside jokes, right? um, I can't remember what these. So these have a range of 12. 12? Really? Let's have a look. Yep, they have a range of 12. That's probably not very. That's not their effective range, though. Well, the SMGs are good to 3. So let's bring that down to 3. I mean, it has to be under. At 10 X's, it's the chance of penetration is down to 21%. And at range of 1x, it's still only 33%. But hey, we won't quibble. No. I don't know. I think I'll make them. Make them 3. I don't really want them firing because then the effective range is quite short. I don't really want them firing too long a range. So we go with 2. This mortar is 0. I'll make this one 2. Actually, screw it. I'm gonna go with 1 because chances are they will opportunity fire, and again, no, that gives the position away. And that's not very helpful at all. So we'll set to 1. Okay, and we have these ones are already set to 1, so I already made that decision a while back. I just didn't carry it all the way through. Okay, ranges are set. I'm done, I think. Let's have a quick look around. I'm not happy with that, but what the hell. I said I'm going to have a reserve and so a defense in case there's some kind of need for them later on. I mean, I expect them to be able to handle whatever comes across the open field here, which actually might not be that difficult. But once the position is known, that's the mortar fire will not do them any good. I think that's okay for the mortars. They actually might be in. They should be in range to hit this area, so that's pretty good. Main problem here, of course, is like they quite far forward, so that's maybe something to consider. I may want to actually put them further back, so they don't get discovered right away. So here might be better. Don't want to do that. But that would probably put them out of range. I think they only have a range of 50? Yeah, 56. It gets longer. It gets better as in the later part of the war. I mean, the 81 millimeter mortars gets up to 64 or something. So we're kind of restricted here. So 20. This is one of the reasons why I've deployed them far enough forward so they don't have to. They don't have to be moved right away. But now I'm worried that they may be too far, too far forward. Because I guess a player can tell where the mortars are, right? I mean, because the game puts up a smoke cloud around the mortars when they fire, so if you're looking around, you can actually spot them and figure out where they are. I'm not sure how many players actually do that. I mean, it's a little bit gamey to do that, I think. So they may avoid doing it just as a matter of because if one player does it, then the other player will do it as well, and that's kind of as long as both players are doing it, I guess it's fine. But if only one player is doing it, then it's kind of unbalances a bit. Because it's stupid that the game puts up so much smoke, right? I mean, uh, especially for small weapons, small artillery pieces like that. I'm thinking actually maybe putting the scouts up here on this ridge. Because right now I have nothing. I can't see anything up here at all. So I think that's not a bad idea. We'll put them on the ridge here. As long as they're not spottable. Let's see. Nope. So actually, I might put them behind the ridge and then move them up onto the ridge in the first turn. So the thing is, like I said, I don't have any line of sight on this side. So let's spread them out so they're not an easy target if they do get spotted. Okay, we can't be seen all the way across there. Okay, so behind the ridge, and then move them up. Well, they won't be seen, so I don't see why I'm so worried about that. Wow, I fuss with it so much, eh? Some ridiculous. Why do I fuss so much with it? Because I can. That's why. If there was a time limit on how long how much time you could spend on deployment, then I wouldn't be able to fuss with it, right? Okay, so I'll take a risk and leave them on there. It's basically the similar thing for having these guys over here, just to have line of sight into an area. Like now I have line of sight to back here, so I might see his movements early on. Give me an idea what he's doing. I actually have line of sight into this area here as well now, which is good. Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. I'm gonna go with that because that's where I'm headed. So it'll be nice to know if anything's happening there. But anyway, the victory X's will if they're taken, then we'll know. So the thing is though, if this high ground, I wonder now. Uh-oh. It occurs to me, if he takes this high ground here, yeah, so no, we're okay, because there's no line of sight past that. You'd have to come in pretty far. I don't think he's going to be able to do that on the first turn. Let's check something further back. Actually, yeah, it's entirely possible he can see me. Damn it. Yeah. See, this is the problem with deploying so in the open rank like that, right? So do I deploy further back, and then, or do I take the risk? Or maybe just move the things that could be seen. Yeah, there's a risk here, because if he moves things that are up here, he'll see me right away. And like, even if he doesn't see me right away, as soon as I start moving, he'll know I'm there, right? I don't know how to avoid that because there really isn't much cover here, unless I deploy them really far back, in which case it's going to take forever for them to move up. So yeah, let's just look at each one. Okay, so who's at risk of being seen? No, don't worry about that one. It's too far forward. Okay, so this one is at risk of being seen. Simply because they're okay. So this one is okay. So if we move, the side, no. Okay, maybe over here. Oops. Yeah. Okay. And this is why I fussed with it. I'll put them up this way. I'm just going to start the heavy machine guns back here. Start them behind there. I think that should be alright. Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely be seen from there. If any infantry move up and if any units move up in there, my movements will be spotted right away. Um, uh, okay, that'll do. We'll see how that works out. Not ideal, but anyway, I doubt I could ever be happy with anything. So, it helps if you have a lot of experience and you know whether that's good or not. So now everything looks like it's bad, right? At least that's how I'm assuming. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I think I got most of them out of potential line of sight. Yeah, there's line of sight here, but I mean it's not right off the. It'll be in the second turn maybe. Um, but then I hopefully will have moved forward a bit into these trees, so that should cut line of sight a bit. I hope. Um, what about on this side? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Yep, go with that. Yep, let's go with that. Sure everything was set the way I thought it was. This game sometimes throws you curves, right? And I'm learning not to assume that it does anything. Like, I'm learning to expect it to do the unexpected, especially in play by email. Okay, we're done.